Thank you very much, Michael, and Happy New Year to everybody. Happy, healthy, wealthy, highly successful New Year to you all. And I love the start of a new year. It's like a blank canvas. Each and every one of us has got choices to make. We can either create something that is big, that is vibrant, that is exciting, or we can look into the past and carry on doing what we were doing, expecting different results. Super excited to be sharing some information with you today about kind of understanding where we are in the industry and why people are successful and maybe why some people are not quite so successful. Let's have a little look, shall we? I just want to make sure that this is working. Here we go. So I want to ask you a question. Did you know this? That roughly 88% of people who set New Year goals, New Year's resolutions, call them what you want, will have fallen at the first hurdle within the first 2 months of the year. And I want you to think about that because it's quite a high statistic. However, when you research, it is actually really probably, it is relevant because whether you sign up to go to the gym, whether you sign up to lose weight, whether you sign up to learn a new skill, whatever it is you set out to do with good intentions at the beginning of the year, normally by about February, March, most people for some reason have quit, have changed their thinking, have changed their focus, which means that only 8% of people actually achieve their goals by the end of the year. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be part of the 88%. I want to be part of the 8%. And if I look at our industry, if I look at network marketing, if I look at the sector that we're involved in, then I'm going to share some important information with you as to why you can be one of the 8% in achieving all that you want to achieve this year, as long as you have an understanding of what you're involved in. It's understanding that takes you over the finish post. It's understanding that keeps you focused and committed to your goals. It's understanding that helps you become a professional, a skilled, professional, articulate network marketer. And I say that because so many people join our industry with a give it a go attitude, I'll try attitude, I'll see if it works attitude. And quite frankly, that's not the way to achieve success. When you look at successful people, they have a deep understanding of their industry, of their sector, of the products they're working with. They have a deep understanding of where they want to go. They learn how to master the art of communication. So when they're talking to people, they always have the response that allows the prospect to become curious about what they're doing. So let's have a look at what's going on in the industry right now, because you need to know this. You are in network marketing, and network marketing is a massive sector in the global marketplace. So I think it's really important that all of us understand the marketplace we're in and the wants and needs of people. And it's very important when we learn how to prospect, and we've got the amazing Lisa Prescott talking about prospecting later. It's really important to understand wants and needs of people, not fads, not industries that are here today and gone tomorrow, but the long-term wants and needs of people in the marketplace. And if you look at our industry, the direct selling industry, in 2022, it was valued at over 200 billion. And what I love about our sector, because you need to be in a growth sector, is that we're expected to grow in excess of 6% in the next 4 to 5 to 6 years. And I find that really exciting, being in a sector where it is growing and growing rapidly. And here's what's really interesting. I've just done a lot of research on our industry right here at the beginning of this year. I'm looking at market trends. I'm looking at the sectors that are growing, the sectors that are relevant. And what's been really evident to me is the health and wellness sector still remains dominant within the network marketing industry. And it's interesting, Michael mentioned that Aidan had said to him that Forever has done very well in the network marketing sector in the last 12 months. And I can verify that because, as I say, I've done my research, and without doubt, the health and wellness companies are light years ahead of any other companies in the network marketing industry. So there needs to be an element of pride associated with your decision to be involved in this incredible company, Forever Living, in the health and wellness sector, dominant in the network marketing sector. You need to understand these things, because these are the kind of things that keep you focused on your goal, focused on your commitment, focused on your daily activity when there's so much noise going on all around you. And, you know, one of the other things that's really important in our industry, that, you know, the future trends are showing that companies that offer transparency and sustainability, these are the companies that consumers and prospects favor and want to align themselves with. There is a big swing, certainly within the social media sector, that people are disconnecting with people who are not authentic, who are not working with sustainable products, sustainable companies. And, you know, the people that are watching, following, they are the ones that are favoring companies like ours, people like you, who are transparent, who are working with an amazing range of products. So again, something to tick the box when you are looking at, you know, why you have chosen this sector of network marketing. And if you look right now, more so than ever, there are people wanting to supplement their main incomes. And we're seeing this more and more and more and more and more. You know, so often we're seeing people, mums, dads, two people working within a relationship, and even that isn't bringing in enough money to help people lead a good life, to have a good life, to not be in debt, to be able to go away for weekends, to take their children away, to be able to live a good life. We can see now more and more people are looking for that second income, and our business model offers people such financial security in these very uncertain economic times. So let's have a little look at Forever. You know, why is Forever the company that you need to align yourself with long term? You know, Michael said earlier, everybody, every company, every industry, every sector has its ups and downs. But sadly, most sectors, when they have their downs, they never recover. And having been in Forever for 30 years now, I can tell you that around the globe, I have seen challenging times, economic times, global disruption, political instability, you know, all of these challenging times on a global basis, and Forever just rides the wave and always comes through ahead of the curve. You know, to be able to say with pride, I've been with Forever for 30 years and it's never let me down. It's always delivered, despite the challenging times, despite the uncertainty in a world now that has so many challenges going on. Forever is a constant quiet in a hectic world. And I tell you something, guys, all of you listening right now, you need to align yourself with a company that will be here today, tomorrow, next year, the year after, and not just for your lifetime, but for your children's lifetime. And we see so many new companies coming into the marketplace. They come in with a big bang, they have the glitz and the glam, and they have all these great big social media influencers promoting why they should be the company. And here we are, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, they're gone. You never hear from them. In the 30 years I've been with Forever, I can tell you, all of the FBOs that have joined Forever and then gone to other companies, they're no longer in the industry of network marketing because the companies they align themselves with, they just aren't around anymore. But Forever Living is and will continue to be, which means that with pride, you know, you can say that you have aligned yourself with a company that is here for forever. So you need to understand what Forever can give you, not just today, but long term. You know, we've got an extensive portfolio of products that cater to all consumer needs. And when you're looking at our product range, you know, think about everybody that can benefit from the product. From the very young to the very elderly, all of them can enjoy the benefits of our products. And that is important. It's important to know that you've got a broad spectrum of consumer buying power, not just a small niche, but a broad spectrum. We've also got sustainable and eco-friendly organic farming. This is becoming more and more and more relevant. When I sit and talk with prospects today, they really want to know, what is the source of our products? Are we organic? Are we environmentally conscious? And we can say hand on heart, yes, we tick all those boxes. And when you're looking at recruiting, having these points to hand is going to help you recruit some very good quality people. And if you look at our ingredients in our products, they're second to none. We're also transparent and traceable with our aloe and the way it's grown. You know, I don't think maybe you appreciate the power of having a transparent, from plant growth, planting the product, right the way through to it's in a drinks container, but this is my ½ litre of aloe, but right the way through to consuming the product. We have traceability on all of that product because we're in control. We're not out to third and fourth and fifth party suppliers. We are in control. And that is very valuable when you're talking to prospects today. Again, I can't emphasize the impact that having a global business can make on your potential to earn a good income. You know, it's no secret I travel the world, and recently I've just been away for 2 weeks to Namibia. I can tell you it's been so easy speaking to people, grabbing their details, sending them information so they can get happily involved in Forever, and it allows me to build more multiple income streams. And I think that when you're prospecting, you need to talk about the multiple income stream potential. You know, safety in building incomes all around the world from the comfort of your own home with a smartphone and a laptop. That is invaluable to people in this modern world that we live in today. It really is important. And if you think about our luxury incentives, the cars, the travel, the chairman's bonus, where else can you access these kind of incentives? If you look into the real world of employment and you look at people in jobs, in careers, you know, they're working, they're 40 hours a week, they've got limitations on what they can earn. They're normally in an environment where they're in an office block. They've got no freedom to move around. They've got very little chance to progress through their company to be at the top level. They certainly don't have the ability to access the luxury incentives that we do. And yet so many people in Forever are not fighting for these incentives. They're not going for them. It's not part of their plan. And I want all of you right now to be looking at the incentives and saying, do I want to be in Paris? Oh my goodness, you do want to be in Paris. Do I want to be an Eagle manager and be in Thailand? Do I want a new car this year? Do I want to be structured and ready to access chairman's bonus? You know, these are the kind of things that Forever offer that out there in the real world are not available. And when you're talking to people, you need to make a big deal about this. And you need to really understand yourself the value of it in joining Forever. And our marketing model has been sustainable for over 45 years. Think about that. 45 years, this model has been creating wealth around the globe. It's been allowing people to make a part-time income. It's been allowing people to make a full-time income. And it's been allowing people, if they work hard, to create real wealth, real hereditary wealth that would be impossible in a job. And, you know, it's important you understand that. And Forever is always adapting. They're always fluid and adapting. And they're adapting to the digital age and the modern trends. You know, I'm fortunate that I've been to the Home Office many, 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 many times. And when I see the investment they have with Rob Ferguson and his team creating the 360 and all of the digital assets we need, not just in one country, but in over 130, 140 countries. This is major, major commitment to Forever. So, you know, occasionally you might get frustrated that you can't access something quickly. You might get frustrated that you know, that your 360 isn't updating like it should be. But let me tell you, the way that it works on a global basis is quite simply miraculous. When I see the commitment they're putting into it, it's on another level. And I also just want to just make you all aware of how fortunate we are here in the UK, Ireland and Iceland, with the structure that we have, with your ability to get products almost within 24 hours, your ability to communicate with Home Office, all of the touch points that you have, please value them. You know, I do a lot of work in Africa, and you know, when they're ordering products to go from South Africa to Zimbabwe, they have to get them there themselves. No one delivers for them. They have to get the runners to get the product to the border. They have to get someone at the border, put them onto the buses. They have to get the buses, go up to a drop-off point that they've arranged. They then have to go and collect the product and distribute them. Seriously, it's hard work. But here in the UK, we have everything in place, quite simply, to explode our businesses. And Forever's commitment to innovation, you know, being a GLT member, I will tell you, the things that we talk about, the innovation that is coming your way, the things that Greg wants to do, it's quite simply staggering. The investment, the financial investment that's going into it, it's incredible. So why is it that only 8% of people achieve their goals? You know, I've just kind of bigged up the industry. I've shown you the scale of it. I've shown you the possibility of it. I've shown you where Forever sits in a global marketplace. We talked about some of the touch points and the key points in Forever and why it is absolutely unique out there in the marketplace. But why is it that only 8% of people will actually achieve all of their big goals? They will achieve some of their smaller goals, but all of the big goals. Well, my observation and my understanding is that most people overcomplicate what they do. And it's sad, really, but that is a fact. Most people overcomplicate the simplicity of this business. And one of the things I recognize more and more and more as we work in a digital world is people think they've got to become experts in the digital world before they can build their Forever business. And I just want to correct your thinking there. You need to become an expert in the simplicity of Forever, and then embrace and layer it with the social aspect. And we've got Esther sharing some incredible information later with how she presents herself in the social world. And you want to take that and you want to look at our simple business concept, marry the two together, and I promise you, you will be successful. Let's have a look at the simplicity of the business. And I want you to kind of align, I want you to look at it with me in mind. I've been in Forever for 30 years. I've built one of the biggest businesses in the globe, around the globe with Forever, but not only built a business, but maintained this at a very high level. Why is that? Please learn from me. Please learn from me. It's because I have a simple retail plan. And I know that Kathleen is going to talk to you about retailing in a while, but I have a simple retail plan and I don't overcomplicate it. I just talk to people. I supply a product. I look after my consumers. I spoil them a little bit now and again. I ask for referrals and I never miss an opportunity to share the power of Forever. I'm cheeky in the way I'll talk to anybody. I'll give you a quick example. I met a lady at the fish counter in Waitrose about 5 years ago. She was standing next to me. Her hands were covered in eczema. I didn't know her, never seen her before. And I just looked at her hands and I said, oh, that looks sore. That led to a conversation. That conversation has led me to having her as a regular customer for 5 years. You see, people are all around you. Have a retail plan. Focus on 20 to 30 plus customers, but understand this is the expectation. Around that, you need a recruitment plan. And Lisa's going to share the recruitment details on that later with you. But you have to have a recruitment plan. You can earn good money by retailing. But if you want to build a big business, and if you want to replace full-time incomes, and if you want to scale and become a millionaire, then you need to learn how to recruit. And you need to learn how to bring people into Forever. So if you're part-time in the business, the expectation is you speak to 3 to 5 people a day. And if you're full-time in the business, the expectation is you speak to 5 to 10 to people per day. And you do this consistently. You do it consistently until you've got the structure in place that you can build a business on. And then you'll be spending a bit more time with a team and their growth plan and teaching duplication. And I want you to take a screenshot. I want you to do whatever you need to do. But that captures what I've done for the last 30 years to build a global business in over 40 countries around the world, and having some of the fastest growing FBOs in the world in my team today. Simple, simple, simple. And if you overcomplicate it much more than that, what will happen? You'll get frustrated. And when people get frustrated, they disconnect from doing the basics. And when you disconnect from doing the basics, your business will start flatlining. And when it flatlines, you'll get frustrated because it's not growing. And when you get frustrated because it's not growing, you'll question your decisions. And when you question your decisions, you'll then start to say, forever doesn't work. And I'm here to tell you to stop getting frustrated, focus on the simplicity of the business. Please commit to what you need to do every single day. Do the activity, let go of the outcome, because the outcome will come if you focus on the simplicity of building a business. And of course, this is all layered by personal growth. When I first joined Forever, I came from a farm management background. I was a very successful farm manager and with horses. I didn't really know anything about network marketing, but I knew if I wanted to be successful, then I had to learn. I had to learn the skills needed to become successful. And those skills are learn how to communicate. Communication is key. Communication will take you to the finish post. Communication will allow you to be one of the 8%. That's a fact. Because if you can answer questions, if you can present with a passion where people will buy you before they buy anything else, you're presenting with an attitude where people believe you, they buy into you, they want to be around you, they're excited by your vision. Because people will buy into your vision. They will not buy into you if you're kind of almost apologetic about what you're doing. And I learned that the hard way in the early days. So retail plan, recruitment plan, team growth and duplication plan, your own personal development plan, and learning the skills needed to be successful. And with all of that in mind, then I know that you are going to build a phenomenal business. I'm not going to overcomplicate it any more than that, because this really is the key to success in a nutshell. And if you speak to anybody around the world that's achieving greatness, they're looking at the simplicity of building a business. They're not overcomplicating it. So I was talking to Nick Woodward-Shaw the other day, and he was sharing some stats with me about how Forever is doing in the world of network marketing, and it blew my mind. You know, here we are as a global company, and we grew by just short of 5% in a global marketplace. And when you understand the global world in network marketing, you'll understand that is a big deal. You know, as Michael said, or Aidan said, it's the GLT team. Most network marketing companies are struggling. They're struggling, and that's because they're not Forever. Forever's got everything in place for growth, and there we are, just under 5%. And of the global sales, Europe accounts for 35% of the global turnover. And, you know, you can see on the screen here just some of the growth that's going on around the world. And I look at Africa, and I'm going to take Southern Africa, the Southern Africa countries, because that's where most of my team is in Africa. And they were flatlining for 2 or 3 years. And suddenly last year, the leaders got together, they came together as one group, they put a plan in place, and boom, they went. And when I look at my leaders now in Southern Africa, that group alone have been responsible for the growth. And that's going to be the same in the UK. As we go into 2025, I can feel it in my bones. The leaders that come together now with a common vision for growth, we are going to explode the UK here right now in 2025. But Japan's an interesting one. Japan is our top producing country and has been for over 45 years. It was the first country that Rex went into outside of the USA. It's been our #1 country, pretty much, you know, give or take for 2 or 3 years around the world. And it grew by 12%. I mean, that is unheard of. Turkey, 27%. I mean, you can see, I'm not going to go through them all. Quite incredible, the growth that is happening. Now, Ukraine is the one I want you all to look at. You know, we have no excuses here in the UK. We have nothing that we can complain about, nothing that we can moan about, because Ukraine, 19% growth, a war-stricken country with half of the country literally at war on a daily basis, and yet they grew by 19%. I was very humbled to do a presentation to the Ukraine FBOs a while ago. it actually reduced me to tears. I've never seen anything like it. The desire to work, the desire to change, the desire and the hunger to learn, the humility of these people. I'm telling you, they deserve every single bit of growth they're getting, because they are doing whatever they can to make sure their families are safe and fed and have a roof over their head. But some of the stories they shared, oh my goodness. So please see these figures here as a huge potential. Let them inspire you, let them motivate you, and let them say to you, I've made the right decision, I'm in the right company, at the right time, in the right place, ready for huge growth here in the UK, Ireland and Iceland. And Michael's kind of said it all, but I am just going to reiterate it. You know, it's a big deal for a company to let go of a property that's already serving us well, to put us into a high-tech modern office. You know, Aidan said to me the other day, just moving us is going to cost over $500,000. Think of that as an investment into this company. They don't have to do that, but they've done it because they want to stay ahead of the curve. And I can't wait to be in the new office. We are ready for it. We are ready for this modern look, this high-tech feel. Amazing. And as Michael said, recruitment up by 21%. This is massive. Now, if we've got good recruitment figures, what we need to do is we as FBOs need to make sure we are coaching, teaching and mentoring our new team members how to use the products, how to create a customer base, how to recruit people, and how to grow and develop themselves. And in doing that, we will see the UK boom this year. I truly believe that we are poised for rapid growth. And we are going to see new people join the company that are going to come in now and take advantage of all that's in place and literally grow their businesses. So I guess as I wrap up my session, I'm going to ask you, are you ready to scale your income and business? Is your mental state ready? Is your focus ready? Is your desire for goal? Is your desire for achievement? Is your desire for your lifestyle ready and on point? Because if you can tick the box on all of those questions, then this time next year, you're going to look back. You're going to look back and say 25 was the year that everything changed. And I truly believe that together, everybody achieves more, and that's teamwork. So now is the time for you to be aligned forever, because we know that Forever is a proven company. We have an unmatched growth potential. We have a legacy of integrity where it comes together to offer you the best opportunity and build a business that is going to last you not just a few weeks, not a few months, not a few years, but a lifetime and generational. And you can put no price on that. So I'm not going to say good luck to any of you. I am going to wish you all the greatest of success. I really, truly want you to embrace this year. I want you to step it up, no matter how long you've been in Forever, no matter what your level is. Do not fall into that comfort zone. Step it up, blank canvas, paint with broad brushstrokes. This is going to be a phenomenal year. Great success, everybody. Thank you.